Hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. So, we're back again with another interesting topic today. For those of us that are coaches in the house, you're welcome. If you're just joining me, my name is Helen or Rachel B. And I want to dive into this one right quick because this is one of the challenges we face as coaches, as trainers, as leaders. We encounter this a high level, and if you're not careful, it has a way of impacting your productivity in giving value and helping people get to the next level, right? So coaching the uncoachable, the real game is in the mind, right? So the real game of this is in the mind. Some people don't need more information, they just need you to give them transformation, and that begins in the mind, right? Not the manual. You can hand somebody a script, a manuscript, a theory, or whatever it is. You have to, work on their mindset because a lot of people are dealing with traumas from their past life, from their childhood. People are dealing with all kinds of stuff, right? So you understand that you're not dealing with the person that you're looking at, you're dealing with their belief system, you're dealing with their past, you're dealing with all the traumas they have been, through every scar they have encountered. You're dealing with those strongholds that are holding them bound. So you need to approach with care. I was in this situation where I lost it. Actually, everybody at some point was uncoachable. I was very, very much uncoachable. Why? Because I tend to stand from the standpoint of that I know so much. Yes, I do know so much, but there's a place of a coach where you have to come down, take off your shoulder pads, your degree, your licenses, or everything that makes you who you are. Check it at the door when you're approaching a coach, especially someone that has value to give or someone that is in a position to help you get to your next level, right? So most people, they see their coaches as if they're in a war zone with them. But in this powerful session, we break down some team members that seem uncoachable, and then we're trying to break them down, dissect them, and see why they're uncoachable or why they seem uncoachable, right? It's one thing to be uncoachable, or it's one thing to say you're coachable, but you seemingly are uncoachable, right? And what's really going on beneath the resistance? There must be something, right? Before someone resists you, there's something. Sometimes it's deeper than it looks, and how to shift them from defensive to developed. You need to shift them from that defensive bucket to being developed, right? So you need to understand people's language, body languages, and all that. When people are stressed, when they are depressed, when they have a lot on them, they tend to explode. They tend to think that you want to exploit them. So now, guess what? In this video, I am actually speaking to leaders that are building teams, right? Why am I talking about this? I used to be in an old company where, I was finding it hard to sustain my team, and then I was trying to, leverage my leadership, but they were not listening. And because I know I bring so much value, sometimes our value system clash, and I'm trying to give value. I'm trying to give them tips, but I see some resistance, especially from other people in the team, that I feel that if you're not making impact, shift, right? Let those that want to contribute to the growth contribute. But in every team, there's certain people that will frustrate your effort, right? And so I left and I threw in the towel on that group or that business just because of the fact that we were not, mixing. It was like oil and water, right? When you are somewhere and the energy drains you, right, you tend to want to take a walk. For someone like me, I give value every time. I give it for free. I like to improve upon people. So when I go in somewhere and I don't feel the energy, trust me, if anything wants to make me not be who I am, I take a walk. I'm very good at walking. It helps my mental state. It helps my sanity. It helps me in every form and shape. And shortly after, this was me struggling to sustain a team. Sometimes you get them in, you build a team, and over time, because of the system that don't let them stay beyond 9 months, they fall off. And my team, right? At some point, you build to 30, and before you know it, you're down to 10, you're down to 5 active people, and the rest are inactive. And now, in as little as 5 to 6 months, now over 1 year, with this new organization I'm in, I've built over 100 agents, and I'm talking about a big team. It blew my mind. The same principles I applied in the old place, I applied it here now, because it's always good to fail fast. Once you fail fast, you're able to avoid mistakes. So, for some of you that are listening to me, if you are a leader trying to build a team, you want to fail fast and avoid the next mistake. Because if you fail on this one, you're like, okay, now I did this and I did that, it didn't work. So, I'm going to move to the next principle, to the next formula, to the next strategy. But if you are scared to push, you're going to be stuck. Right. So I'm going to be giving you value in what we go through. Once you build a big team, you're getting in the hundreds. You're now, if you cannot overcome, what you have right now, if you have a team of 2, 5, 10, right, in the tens, and then you move to the 20s, and then maybe you now move to the hundreds, right? Trust me, if you cannot defeat this now, and if you don't build your mental capacity, trust me, you're going to wear out. Because by the time you build a bigger team, like you're looking at over 1,000 people, and you don't have a system to mitigate and to have conflict resolution and to checkmate people. Because guess what? If you're a leader, you are in authority. People are not supposed to be tossing you here and there. If you're a people pleaser, you're not supposed to be a leader. Trust me, because you're going to please this, please that. At the end of the day, you'll be burnt out. So this video is for leaders building teams, for coaches that are trying to hit the walls with their client. Everybody always has a wall in front of them. What is she trying to sell to me? Right? That wall is, what is she trying to sell to me? So you must understand this, right? And then most people that come into your coaching call, they come into your community, they don't want to be coached, wholeheartedly, because these people are coming from different walks of life. Remember, they are professionals, right? From different walks of life, they've had experiences. So they're coming to you, they're trying to bring their personality into your organization. They're trying to bring their personality into your system, into your program. So you need to checkmate it and allow them understand, if I am able to give you the transformation that you can, the only one thing that I require is that we be on the same page, that I'm going to give you the skill. I would try as much as possible to empty out myself to ensure that you get the value for the exchange of time or for you being in business with me. But the only thing I want from you is for you to approach me with an open heart. Pack your shoulder pad, pack your degrees, pack your license, pack your experience at the door. Once you're sitting with me, there's a reason why I'm on this side and you're on the other side, because I must have done XYZ, and I qualified to be in the position I'm in. So I always like to anchor scripture with whatever I do, because everything is all about principles, right? If you don't understand that life is governed by principles, everything is in the word, and the word has the principles, it has the formula for everything, right? Romans 12, 2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Right? So in this video, you're going to learn 3 types of, people. You learn about their personalities and why they are uncoachable, right? You're going to know how ego, fear, and identity sabotages growth, right? And then you're going to learn about how coaches, can do this through a mindset shift, right? And not just by mechanism. You can't just come with force, and you just need to work on their mind. I told you, you're not dealing with a physical person. You're dealing with the mind. You're dealing with age-long belief system. You're dealing with all the things that they have been through, all the lies they've been told, all the things they have gathered from every walks of life, from everywhere they try to gather information. You're trying to demystify what works, and other people that have applied the same thing, they've gotten results. You're trying to transfer that thing to someone. You have to empty them out. That's why the Bible says, be that renew. Your mind is a battlefield. So you have to be transformed from your mind. From your mind, that's where everything starts and ends. If you can get that right, you can get the physical, right? And also to protect your energy as a leader. Guess what? Right? I always, wonder why my coach, I bless God for him every time, right? I might not be there with him, but hey, he laid the foundation to who I am today, and I'm always very grateful. He always says, protect your mindset, protect yourself, protect your energy, protect yourself. As you're coaching, you're taking on people's energy, you're taking on their stress, you're taking on everything that they believe in. So if you're not on a higher frequency, trust me, they're going to bring you down to this level, right? They're going to make you miserable because you're trying to penetrate and they're not, listening. And then you get worn out. You can't give because there's a wall. And if you're not strong, they'll bring you to the level or they make you quit, right? So drop a comment as I'm on live. If you're watching on another day, drop a comment, right? Have you tried to help someone who didn't want help? If you've had that experience, drop a comment in the session. If you're listening to me on Facebook, if you're listening to me and watching me on YouTube as well, because you're streaming live on two channel, and if you're listening to me on Clubhouse, do the same, right? So let's begin this, right? I love the picture that I've painted. I love everything I've done, and I want you to understand that let's the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. I'm taking that from the anchor scripture from Proverbs 1:5. I want you to understand that if you understand what I'm about to say, you would increase. Your learning capacity has to be up. You have to be on a learning curve. You always have to be willing to learn. The minute you stop learning, you have died, right? So I remember one of the toughest, people that I've ever coached, right? Talented, fierce, full of potential, but very uncoachable. Does that sound like someone you have encountered before? Every correction, guess what? Felt like an insult. You're trying to correct them. You're trying to, speak to them. For every word, every utterance, it feels like, she won't insult me again. She won't do this again. She won't do that, right? Every instruction was filtered through pride. We weren't fighting each other. Guess what? We were both fighting the mindset that said, I don't want you to think I'm not good enough, right? That mindset that says, if I'm corrected, it means I am not good enough. Sound familiar to you? I'm telling you what I have encountered, right? Most people will say, oh, Helen is very stubborn. If you're with me, you will know. Like my team, I would say out of all 100 and something agent that I've worked with, right? By the way, my coaching doesn't stop with the agents that I worked with. I've coached people in other skill sets. We're currently having a 5-day, challenge of what is in your hands, right? What that means is I coach beyond the insurance space. I coach you on your skill set. I coach you to make sure that what you have in your hands is able to sustain you, especially if you are in business with me. I want you to remain focused. What we're doing is quite different from other aspects. We're not doing, a regular 9 to 5. We're doing a business. We're running a business. And if you're running a business, you need to understand that there are high times and there are low times, especially if you're not consistent and if your mindset is not, in the game at the moment, because it can happen, right? You need that, cushion, that soft spot to make money without burning out, right? So let's get back into this, right? The truth about coaching people is really, really broad, right? Even the most, outwardly confident people can be deeply sensitive, right? Underneath their tough, body. I was about to finish what I was saying. I remember now. I have more men than female. You would think because I'm a lady, I'll have a lot of women. And then I have a women's ministry where I help women come out of their shell, especially those that don't really have anything doing. That's why, my soft spot is in women. I've seen women go through a lot. I need, to make sure that they are fine in helping them go to know how to fish, not giving them handouts. If you give a woman handouts, she's always going to come back. But if you teach her skills, she can sit at the comfort of her home, take care of the household, like the Proverbs 31 woman that was very industrious. She would still be the best person to even her spouse, and everybody will be happy, right? So guess what? In my organization, let me say I have 75% of men. It's not even let me say, that is my number. 75% of them are guys. And trust me, if you're dealing with African men, Nigerian men, majority of them are my Igbo community. I'm Igbo. I keep telling them my great grandma is Igbo. So maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm attracting a lot of Igbo people in my business. But guess what? You need to understand that you're dealing with men that have substance. They have, they have charisma, they have experience, they've dealt with money, they have, they have ego naturally. An Igbo man has ego. That's why an Igbo man will take care of a woman and all that, because they know how to hold their grounds. And talking about other people, maybe other cultures as well, but if you're dealing with a man, you need to understand as a lady, they already look down on you. So, but in my organization, I always tell them, you're not looking at a lady, you're looking at a man. My masculine energy is on the high. When I'm in business mode, you don't want to talk to me as a lady. They know, right? I am not a lady at that point. Forget about this face and my lashes and my nails. No, you're dealing with a man. My mental capacity, I'm operating at the frequency of a man, right? And these days, I try to tone it down, right, a little bit. That's why I try to look feminine, and so you know you're still talking to a woman, right? Forget the pretty face. I can be tough. When I say I'm stubborn, I'm tough. It's not stubborn. It's I hold my ground well. My boots are grounded. You see what I mean? But what I'm trying to tell you is, once you're dealing with those kind of people, you understand that first of all, there's an age barrier, the agenda, the gender barrier, and then guess what? There's the experience. They are experienced in different fields, but they are in my own community. They are in my space. So as a coach, how do you make sure that these people are coachable? They do it when you say they do it, not when you say do this, they'll say, oh, what does she mean? What? After a while, they waste time, they waste energy, they do it on their own, they try to figure it on their own, and they come back to you and they still get the job done. But then guess what? Time has been wasted. So most common behaviors of uncoachable people is that, this rolling of the eyes feedback, like, they're rolling their eyes like, what's she trying to say? Right? They're talking correction person. They're taking this correction person. They're always talking about, oh, this person did this. They're too sensitive, right? There's a video that I did on my reels. I was talking about the reason why people don't thrive is the fact that they let self come into play. They accuse the leader. There's a blame game. There's a culture of, that you did this, you did that. There's a culture of blame, right? Instead of you looking inward and looking at the main reason this person is doing this stuff is to help you get to your next level, right? Put yourself aside. You need to approach the business or the organization you're in, or whatever instruction or whatever stuff they're giving. Look at it from the standpoint of, what is the outcome of this thing supposed to be? Right? You don't have to think that somebody's trying to put you out of business. They're trying to cheat you. I don't blame most of us. Like I said, it's a mindset thing. Most of us have been dealing with a lot of traumatic behaviors from our childhood experiences with the people that have wronged us in the past, right? So most people are always reading into your tone. They're reading into the words, too deeply. They're like seeing things that you're not even saying. In short, as you're speaking, they already have their guards up. They're defensive. They're saying, this thing that this person said. Even if you're talking to a group of people, some people tend to personalize it, right? I know back in days we always say, if you go to a pastor and tell a pastor something, before you know, on the altar, your topic is going to be what the pastor is going to preach. Now, how do you know that pastor was preaching about you if it's not guilty conscience? It's not about you. It's about training. It's feedback. If somebody comes to you today and give you feedback that, hey, this thing that I try to use, it didn't work, and so you ask question, why didn't it work? And they tell you, so you now go back and try to use that to to answer and to help overcome objections, especially when it's coming up, or you're going to train people, or you're going to have to use that as a yardstick to help other people avoid making that mistake, right? And then most people, they're acting ungrateful to people who help them most, right? Someone is trying to help you by coaching you or showing you what you're supposed to be doing. You're ungrateful, right? Some of us even feel we're entitled to this thing. No. And you're forgetting that your coach is is a human like you, right? And other people believing everything is about them, right? Even on the coach's bad day, you don't know your coach to have bad days. Sometimes most people are very good in covering up this thing. They just perfected the act of, covering up whatever it is they're going through and their situation, and they're keeping it together and still showing up to try to impact into you. But no, you just want to feel, oh, this person. No, 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 it's not about you. It's not about you. And the fun thing is, most people don't even ask their coach, how are you doing? How hope everything is fine. You feel the coach is already there, so they're good, they're fine. Oh, please, nobody's a robot right here, right? So the irony here is most people don't even know they're being uncoachable. This is the part that really gets me. And when you're talking to them, they're like, really? What do you mean? Right? So being uncoachable is, it's very, very easy to spot, and it's sometimes subtle, right? It's sometimes subtle. It's always a choice, right? Right? There's always a choice that you had to make, that, you know what? Am I going to be coachable to this person before engaging with them? Because somebody's giving you their time, and time means money. Somebody's giving you the time. If you know that you're sitting before a mentor that makes millions of dollars, and how is your approach to that person? So the same way you need to approach your regular coach, doesn't matter where they are financially, right? If somebody's giving you a part of them that they should have used to monetize by training other people, people monetize these things, and someone's giving to you on a platter, you need to understand that they also have a choice. So being uncoachable isn't always a choice to you. You don't have a choice. To the coach, they have a choice to show up or not, especially when they're not getting paid. Or even if they're getting paid, they can decide that, hey, I don't think we're a good fit. That's why there's this thing, right? I want to see if we're a good fit for each other, right? I don't want you to come in my space and mess up my mental state. It's going to mess up all the things for me. Sometimes it's just a blind spot. So guess what? You always want to make sure that you have in the back of your mind, you're stepping into a space with a coach, a mentor. It's not a choice to you, it's a choice to them. And when your blind spots becomes a habit, they will sabotage, your silence. No, they'll sabotage your success. They'll sabotage everything you've worked for. They'll sabotage everything, because most people are, their own worst enemy, right? You cannot see your blind spot, but a coach can. When somebody's observing you, they're looking at your numbers, they're looking at your metrics, they're looking at your milestone, they're looking at the things that you're not looking at because you're too busy with other stuff. So a coach can look at it based on experience with other people. I'm like, I think this person will do better here, because they know you. Most coaches don't even know people, but guess what? If you're dealing with a Virgo like me, I read you like this. I can sit with you and I'm working with you. I already know your down, your weaknesses. I know your strength. I know your opportunities. If we're talking, I already know from the way we're conversing. I'm like, okay. That's why sometimes I always try to go into, a help mode, but I tell myself, stop, just be in the present and listen, right? So if your coach would be willing to learn and to improve upon themselves, you have that that duty to do the same for yourself, right? So you probably asked me why being uncoachable matters, right? Now let's even look at the definition of being uncoachable, right? So I pull this up on Google, and Google says it says coachable describes someone who is receptive in feedback and willing to learn and improve through guidance. Right? It says it signifies a positive attitude towards receiving instruction and desire to grow. A positive attitude towards receiving what? Instruction, and a positive attitude to grow. You see what I mean? This wasn't me. Oh, this is from Google. I just put it there, coachable. Right? And then he said, particularly in a professional context. Being coachable is being linked to having a growth mindset, right? And actively seeking ways to enhance your skill and your performance. That is who a coachable person is, right? That is who a coachable person is. So the question now is, are you, coachable? All right. So why being coachable matters is it's not about keeping your coaches happy. Hey, it's not about the coach. It's, about your growth, about your goals, and about your greatness. If you don't remember anything about anything I'm saying today, you being coachable is for you. It's about your growth, it's about your goals, and it's about your greatness. So here are five, benefits of being coachable. Guess what? More playing time. Once you're coachable, you have more time to play, because guess what? You get a job done in good time. You hit your milestone faster. Everybody moves. But if you're uncoachable, you're just like that pilot that is stubborn to fly the aircraft. You're deciding, oh, do I fly today? Or maybe I will not fly tomorrow. Maybe I will think tomorrow. Guess what you're doing? You're actually holding back other people. You're holding back your crew members. You're holding back the passengers on board, the people that are tied to your destiny, that are tied to your calling, that are tied to the mission and the vision that you have. The reason why you're seated before a coach is because you have a solution that you came on this earth to give. So if you're not willing to move with the speed of time, guess what? You're playing with your own time. You want to make sure you do it as at when you were supposed to do it, right? There's something about the right timing. Don't do it grudgingly. Most of us just say, let me just do it. No, do it when you're supposed to do it, so that you will see the result, because you are holding back your coach, especially in our space, right? If I'm coaching you and I expect my own result is when I see you win, that is a plus for me, because I can use that testimony, I can use that result to get more people to come into my community. You see what I mean? So you're holding me back because you don't want to move. And then I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm giving you my time, I'm giving you my effort, I'm giving you my resources, I'm giving you everything that I have, but you're not using it, because guess what? You chose to be uncoachable. Number two, you build better relationship with your coaches and your team, right? Back in the days, my coach used to tell me back then, he said, there's some people that you're not coachable, you're not picking their call. You just know these people are text people. Because if they're not coachable, they're always getting in your mind, they're messing up your day, your productivity level goes down. You would rather pick the people that are coachable. I'd rather not even take, see, it was a battle, right? Especially when you are in business with your friends, it becomes a battle, because now there's no line there. And you're like, okay, how do I draw this line? And the funny thing, nobody's talking about it. But the real thing for you to do as a coach is to step aside when you are transacting business, or when you put on a coach's hat, right? Because just like you wear different hats, you're a teacher, you're a mother, you're a wife, you're auntie, you're a chef, whatever it is you do. Once you are wearing that hat, you give the best of you at that moment. So if you're in relationship with people, guess what? You need to identify, this is my coaching voice and this is my friendship voice. So when you are in your friendship mode, all the caps are gone. You are a friend. But when you are in a coaching mode, friendship aside, you want to see results. A coach will be the one to tell you the things that other people don't want to tell you, because from a coach standpoint, they want to see growth from you, right? Likewise, your team, right? If you're not coachable, and you're not coachable to your trainers or to your leaders or to those that are supposed to be pouring into you, guess what you're doing? It's going to flip. And then guess what? Your team as well is not going to respond to you, because guess what? This is, see, I started with this thing where I said principles work, right? In life, there's something called seed time and there's something called harvest. Whatever you sow, you reap. I told you that I as well, I wasn't coachable. So at some point when I noticed that my people were being uncoachable, I went back to the source and I asked for forgiveness, because even though you feel you know more than your coach, there is a place for coaching and a place for you to follow. Right now, you are in that follow zone. Stay where you are. Understand your space. Stay on your lane, so that you not bring upon yourself karma in future, right? And number three, faster development and learning. Once you avail yourself to coaching, you learn, you assimilate, you move faster, and then you have wisdom. And then at that point, your coach will be confident. You see what I mean? But when you're not being coachable and you don't know what you know, and then you're proving like you know what you know, in the eyes of the coach is like, well, after all, what's my business? There's no how you can transfer this and put in your head if you're not willing to let it be, right? And then number four, a deeper trust and communication, right? If somebody wants to coach you and then you're doing what you're saying, they trust you with the intellectual, property that they're giving to you. For someone to pour in wisdom to you, into you, give you that time, your energy. Time is money, time is money, time is money. Guess what? that trust has to be built, right? If you want them to, you call them and they're picking your call at the middle of the night or any time they see they pick, you have to make them feel that it's a trust relationship and communication will flow evenly, right? And then lastly, internal calm. Internal calm. Feedback feels like information, not attack. If somebody's telling you something, don't make your coach ever feel like they cannot correct you or talk to you or give you feedback, because if they're not giving you feedback, they're just looking at you. You're the one suffering. You're not getting the best of value. And then guess what? You, after a while, you feel that you're not supported. You will start getting resentment. If you're not careful, you will lose out on the vision that God has given you, because it's not your vision. God gave you that vision so you don't fight what you didn't get from yourself. You were given that vision, so you need to avail yourself to be coached and to be groomed into it, so that you can, can come out and start, manifesting that thing that God has placed in your hands. So I'll give you quick, right? 13 ways to be more coachable, right? I have about a few minutes to go get ready, because I have a massive, session coming up with some, special people that I'm trying to, give another light to. We're trying to talk to people that are frustrated with their license and see how we can help them get back on track, right? Now, guess what? The 13 ways, right? These are mental reps. They're not drill, right? Now, number one thing, you have to listen to what they say. Listen to what they say, not how they say it. Some people have delivery issue, I understand. Some people don't even understand how to communicate. It's a learning curve. Some people might be arrogant in their delivery, but listen to what they say. Don't get distracted by their tone, right? Get the treasure from the truth in what they're saying, right? I'll tell you a story. A couple of years ago, some friend of mine, my doctor recently, because while I was pregnant, I'm always gestational. And then afterwards, the doctor told me, when you get a call from the hospital after you went in for a checkup, just know there's something wrong. So they called me up, and when I got that call, I'm like, okay. And then they told me, girl, you're borderline diabetic. You need to watch it. And this is me with my fufu. I can eat fufu in the morning. In short, I like cold fufu. I will make it in the nights. This is how I do my thing. I can do everything for every other person. But see, I like that cold one. When I say fufu, I mean eba. It can be swallowed, it can be fufu, it can be pounded, yeah, whatever. But I like it cold. If it's gari, all the best, right? But guess what? I'd say in the last, I take that back. I ate fufu 2 weeks ago. But in the last 7 months, some people saw me, oh, you listen weight, you listen weight. I'm like, yeah, I took away something. I replaced fufu, swallow, whatever it is. I replaced all of that with oatmeal. So I blend my oatmeal and I eat it in place of that. That's a tip I've given you there, right? So what I'm saying here is that person called me and said, hey, that your medical report says you are borderline diabetic. And there I was, because I was looking up to this person health wise and all that. This was like, I think around COVID period. And then the person said, okay, so can we stop that? The funny thing is, the person is not even Nigerian or African. And the person said, can you stop eating this thing? Like, can you just like stop? And funny enough, the nutritionist that I saw told me, make a feast. I did like this. And everybody said, see the size? I said, yes. I said, that's the size of your fufu. I'm looking at the Asian guy. I'm like, what's he talking about? Like, man, like, I don't eat soup. I eat more fufu. If you know, I'm a Kwaibum. I just told you I even have Igbo traits. So, and then, you know my last name. I don't want to talk about it. But guess what? That fufu is a mainstay. And then the guy said, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this, don't eat this. Rice out. He said, if you have to eat rice, watch it. Then intermittent fasting, blah, blah, blah. This person showed up, and guess what? I had my bowl of fufu with meat. Trust me, hey, that Yoruba me came out. If I eat, if you know me, you know I eat. If I want to eat, I eat where. I don't eat like somebody that is suffering. That's a poor man's mindset. You want to eat everything, you won't go. I can eat all the meat in this world, in short. And then I was eating, and then I was not feeling well. I even went ahead and bought a treadmill. This was during COVID period, so that because they said, listen, I registered in Forever, is it 24 Fitness? with my son. My son was a toddler back then, so they had a gym. So I put him in the gym. If I'm in the gym, I'm recording myself. Right, I'm not there to work. I'm recording myself. Like I make sure that I position myself well to get the good angle for video. Right, for those of you that go to the gym to have fun and to take picture, we're on this table together. And then the person said one thing to me. He said, I have a problem with you, right? My issue with you is that you don't love yourself, and that problem is what's going to make me not want to be close to you. I felt offended. What do you mean that I don't love myself? I didn't say it out, but in my mind, I'm like, hey, insult upon injury. Nothing I did not think in my mind. In short, I think up, down, left, right. I was cooking all the ways I'm going to be, retaliating and all the stuff. And my resentment level was so high. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? The way I'm eating good food. And the person said that thing to me. And then because God has given us a conscience, one day, I just sat down, me by myself. I look at it and I'm like, early more, you are eating this fufu. I see you now. You find it outside. When you go outside, we're using, we're trying to eat British. We're trying to be nice, etiquette and all kinds of stuff. Etiquette, kill you there, right? And then it dawned on me that truly you don't love yourself because guess what? It wasn't about him. It wasn't about the delivery. Yes, he hurt me by what he said, but guess what? The message, the treasure in the truth of what he had said to me dawned on me when my cholesterol was high. As in, I'm talking to you, my blood pressure was high. Sometimes my blood pressure is high to like 200 and something over whatever. And at the back of my mind, and the funny thing is, shortly after, when I was running in my previous company, I was running to becoming, a leader. I think it was SMD. My blood pressure was high. I was eating. As a matter of fact, I slept wrongly. I was always busy. I was trying to hit my milestone. If I'm ready to run, the reason why I'm chill now because I'm in my coaching mode. If I'm ready to run to get something, I'm a go. See, I'm a go getter. I'm a dog getter. If I say I want to get this thing, I will get it. Right? You can imagine. I don't even look at what I eat. I just know I just grab and eat, grab and eat, grab and eat. And then I looked at myself. I started adding weight. I will walk a little bit. My blood pressure, I'll be doing, in my mind, I'm like, what is this? And then that voice came back to me and I realized the coach at that moment, yes, the delivery was not good because of the timing. I was looking at it like, what do you mean I don't love myself? Now I saw the truth in what he said. I didn't really love myself because your doctor told you that you are borderline. Do you know what it means for you to have high cholesterol? High cholesterol is a silent killer that nobody's talking about. The reason why most of us, they might look all cool, nice, slim and all that, but they have illnesses that you can't know is because of their habits. It's because of their habit. I said a lot of us have come up with different things in our past that we are like a Mount Zion. We cannot be moved. We don't want to change. So because of that, right, you despise who God has placed in your life at that point in time to help you because that is the blind spot, right? That you're not seeing. They're seeing it from an angle, you're not seeing it. You're seeing it from this angle, but you're forgetting there are several angles that you can view something. The best angle is one that you're not seeing, the one that is going to affect your growth, the one that's going to affect your productivity, right? So, number two, it's not always about you. Get that and live fine. Your coach has 99 other battles today. Don't internalize what's not yours. They have families, they have children, they have spouses, they have other people to deal with. You're talking to somebody right now, somebody other person is talking to them. You think if you want to know what your coach go through, wait until you get in the seat of a leader, on the seat of a coach, and then you understand that it's not even see. And the funny thing is, as a coach sitting on here, especially when you have a big team, you have like you're working with over 100 people in a day, different calls and all that, especially when you don't have a system that can help you. You don't have assistants because over here it's premium money to have an assistant. Thank God now I have 4 people, right, that are working with me. That's why you see me jumping on this call. All right. If you look at the last time I posted a video was years ago. Years ago. Because you're busy doing things that are not income generating. You're trying to help everybody else, but they're punching hands at you and everybody saying you. They're not looking at the one you against hundreds of people, right? So you need to understand it's not about you. Your coach wears many hats. You are a priority. But guess what? Not their entire life. You're not their entire life. You are a priority. If you are coachable, they will take your call. But if you're not coachable, please just respect that, right? It got to a point talking about self-love. I had to tell myself, you know what, as a coach, you're giving so much to other people and everything, but you're getting all the backlash and everything, and everybody's saying, oh, this, oh, that. And at the end of the day, you sit down, you're like, with the input, with the work ethic, with the skill set, with everything that I know that I have, and I should be somewhere else. But these people, because they don't believe so much in themselves, they're trying to see, okay, because I don't see, if you don't believe in yourself, take a walk, move aside, let other people that are ready to do the job step forward and be coached. Don't frustrate the person that God has put in your life, right? In the mornings, I had to tell my team, please don't call me anytime before 9. There's something called me time. Me time. The reason why we are in business is because we want that freedom of time. You want to be present with your family members, your children. Every other aspect of your life is not supposed to end because you are a coach or because you're coaching people. You need to respect that. Just the same way when you reach out to your coach once in a blue moon, trust me, guess what? Your coach can do that as well, but they're checking in. They're looking at the metrics. They'll go, okay, let's look at these people. These are the people. They have to-do lists. They have calendars. They have different things. But you call in one time, you call, no response. You're like, oh, now because they don't grow now, they don't big pass now. They don't. You see, excuse me. Please tone it down. Tone it down because you're going to be here soon. And once you're here, you will now understand that if you cannot coach your little team of 5, 7, 10, once you get to 100 and you get to 1,000, you're going to be crazy. You're going to go bonkers because you've not been able to position yourself well. So what I always say is, why you are trying to coach the coach or coach the trainer, why don't you focus on being good at your skill set, so that when you come on here, you're not going to have time anymore to learn anything new. You're going to be coaching. And once you're going to be coaching people, your time is spent, right? Now, guess what? Number 4, this, this attitude that you're going to get is they want your success. You need to understand that your coach wants your success, especially in a business like ours. If you're in the financial space, your people moving is a reflection of the character and the quality of leadership and the quality of coaching they get. But when you're dealing with some very amazing set of people that feel like, you know what, if I'm not going, you're not going, that kind of stuff, like, if I cannot have you, you cannot have you, nobody else can have you, that kind of thing, right? Understand that they want your success, even if it comes from, a messy place. After all, every diamond, every precious gem, you see the gold that people are killing people, diamonds and all that, it comes from the dust. You have to get it, you have to clean it up, it has to go through the fire, it has to go through this pruning, it has to do all of this before it becomes that precious gem, that precious jewelry, that precious stuff that you pay premium dollar for. So remember, love can sound like even yelling in a gym, right? I remember while I was younger, the only reason why I stepped away from acting was because I was yelled at. I used to be, a recording artist, right? I probably share that part of me sometime. But marriage and life just, make me put that aside. I'm a lover of music. Those that know me know, right? But guess what? I was on set trying to shoot, and then somebody yelled at me. I lost it because then my fine girl was on flick, right? And then I lost it. I'm like, how dare you shout on me? See what I mean? But the coach was trying to get me to be in character. And I was busy doing what I was doing because I wasn't listening. People were hailing me, and I was like feeling on top of the world. You need to understand that they can get out of character to put you in check, right? So their manner of approach can be resolved by having a dialogue and having an understanding with them. Hey, by the way, on a different day, not on that day. By the way, I didn't like the way you should have, done this, should have done that. They will listen, right? Number 5, give your coach grace. They are under pressure too, right? So assume the best for them. These people that you are seeing, that you're thinking they are gods, they are under pressure. They are under pressure to perform. They're under pressure at every level. Every level you get in life, there's a pressure point where if you go beyond your pressure point, you're going to go up. See what I mean? But if you're not understanding that your coaches are running a milestone for themselves as well, they need your success to be able to push up. They need you to get value for them to fill up their pipeline, or to fill up their community, or to upsell other people and all that, to go out. Nobody's doing anything. I keep saying, I said this yesterday, most people in business, they're not in business for not for profit, they're in business for profit. Right? If I'm coaching you, you're not yielding. Hey, if you don't see me picking your call, maybe once in a while you call me and I text you, just understand that, you know what, your energy and mine is not mixing. I don't want to kill what I have going right now, because my energy is on fleek, right? My energy is able to trample on any negative thing. As you're coming now, I'm blocking my ears because I don't want to hear, I don't want to see. I'm guarding my heart because the Bible commands you to do so. Even the Bible says, flee, it say run, flee, Scooby Doo, it say flee, right? So, number 6, say thank you often, especially when it's hard to, right? Gratitude grows maturity. Appreciation sharpens your perceptive. If you say thank you for someone giving you value, trust me, they're going to show up 100 times next time for you, right? And number 7, because of time, look them in the eye. It shows confidence, it shows character, it shows connection. Your coaches want you to be in front of them. It shows that what they're teaching you, or what they're pointing to you, or whatever it is, that you understand it. If you don't understand it, look them in the eye and say, oh God, madam, please, Joe, I don't understand this thing. Right? They will level up with you. But if you're on guard and you are refusing to look, you're refusing to tell them, come clean with them. That's what I'm telling you. If you know that you have a slow attitude to learning, break it down, right? If they're going to be really fast with these people, they're going to be, taking extra mile. As a matter of fact, I've dealt with this so much that I feel like this thing is so simple. Why are you not getting it? Until my sister's mother-in-law, she's very amazing person, right? Bless her, Sister Rosemary. She sat me one day, or it's not sat me, we were talking on the phone, she's in Africa, and then she said, that she's able to coach children, that if she's in a classroom coaching, that she coaches to the level of the slowest person in the room. And it dawned on me that's why in our business they say, make sure that you are duplicatable. Make sure that everybody understands it from a standpoint of a child. If you can explain whatever it is you're explaining, and a child can understand it, it means an adult can understand it. Some people have ADHD. They have issues with, staying through the course. Some people have, slow learning ability. You need to understand, you need to meet everybody at their points. You need to be patient with people. Some people have issues with technology, right? Even I, after college and all that, right? Bless my coach. My coach, you know what? Gave us a tablet. The funny thing is, I bought one. After 2 months, I put it in my bag because I have a habit. You see, I'm drinking water and I didn't close it. I have a habit of leaving my water open. And I was going somewhere. I just put my Mac in my bag with the water. I forgot. And guess what? When I drove and I got there and I realized that all the water was in my Mac. And the funny thing is, like us, most of us back in the days, we never used to put insurance on anything, right? So now we put insurance on everything. And then guess what? I was even too, I called them and I told them, hey, by the way, I have water damage, water, blah, 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 blah. And then they told me, so sorry, your system or your device doesn't have whatever. And this is something that I bought over $1,000 for. I was really furious. And then bless God, my coach was like, hey, for being very good at what you're doing, this year he gave over, I probably say he gave over 30 MacBook, right? The same thing I want to do with my teammate. I gave them a goal. I told her, hey, by the way, if you hit your goal, we're going to give you computers. Black Friday, I bought a lot of computers. Nobody hit their goal. I returned my thing. You see what I mean? But guess what? Right? You want to make sure that you understand people at the level that they're at. Make sure that you understand them. If they are slow to learning, right, come down to their level, right? Not everybody is savvy with this computer thing. Most people are older, they don't know any better, right? You make sure you get down to their level, right? And then number 8, Your coach is human. They bleed, they stress, they worry like you. So don't put more stress on them. Stress kills, right? I was talking to an amazing champion today, and she said something that I was super excited, because most people get to that breaking point where you're doing so much, you're overwhelmed. At some point, you're like, you know what? I don't use the word. You throw in the towel and you're like, I'm done. I'm done. Right? Don't let them get to that point where they throw in the towel and they say they're done on you. Because for them to get to that level, they must have bled, they must have stressed, they must have worried, they must have done all the things that people that are, not understanding why it is that you're fighting and holding back and you're giving them stress. Once they get that way with you, it's done. Right? Don't roll your eyes. They're trying to teach you something. You're like, oh, yeah, right. You're rolling your eyes. Do I know? Okay, maybe my lashes not making me roll my eyes. Well, like you're rolling your eyes, like, huh, huh, huh. It says more about your attitude than your approach. It means you're not listening to the instruction. You're on the fence, like, yeah, right, whatever. You see what I mean? Speak up respectively. Sometimes silent resentment is louder than an honest communication. If you know something, I already told you now, if you know something's bothering you, open your mouth and talk. That's why you have a mouth. Your God is a speaking God. Right? Open your mouth and talk, but understand there's a time and place for everything. And then ask for feedback directly from them. Don't wait. Seek it out like a champion. You did something. Oh, by the way, coach, da, 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 da. So what do you think I've done? Blah, blah, blah. Sometimes they see it. Sometimes they give you those compliments, casually, maybe when you're on the team, you're meeting that, those people that are doing fine, they highlight them. It's part of the thing. They highlight them. Why? Because we love results. But then you ask for, feedback from them. By the way, what do you think about my stuff? I know we had a meeting, da 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 da, and I said I was going to do this. Do you think I met my Once you ask them, they're going to comment on what you've done so far, and they're going to give you more insight. All right, and be mentally present. Leave the day's drama behind when you step into the arena with your coach. Leave the day's drama, everything you had during the day, pack it. I said when you're dealing with, I already said when you're in the space with your coach, if you come into the room, if you showed up to a meeting, to an appointment with your trainer, with your leader, with your coach, with whoever is mentoring you, please leave your issues behind. Just be in the moment, let them do what they have to do. And then guess what? Even if sometimes it's a practice you need to learn, right? And then lastly, do weekly check-ins. Most people are not accountable. Nobody is going to, grade what they're not inspecting. If they tell you, hey, I need your feedback, I need you to check in with me, and you're not giving them any feedback, you're not giving them any check-in on only checkpoint, you're already set up to fail. I'm sorry. Right? A few minutes of alignment prevents a season of confusion. Stop going around in circle trying to look for what is not lost. Your coach has everything together, but because you refuse to be coachable, you refuse to report. How do I report to this person after all? They're not small girl. You see, all those little things, side talks and all that, it's not taking you anywhere. You're holding yourself back, and guess what? You're holding your leader or your coach or your trainer. But guess what? They have a choice. You don't. They have a choice not to take your call. They have a choice to build more people, to get more leaders, or to get more people in the space and leave you on the spot or leave you where you are until you figure out what you want to do. Is either you do two things: you step aside and leave the organization, or leave their coaching session, or leave, their umbrella, or you go ahead and do what you got to do and move on and get the result done. Because guess what? It's not about you, it's about the calling. Right? So being coachable is an inside job, right? Scripture says the wise of heart will receive commandments, but a babbling fool will come to ruin, right? Coachability is not about pleasing the coach. I've told you this. It's not about pleasing the coach. Oh, well, the coach see if like me. Most times you see these things in short. You see, I've gone through trainings, right? I had to deliver my mind to make sure that, hey, if you're not receiving it, just step aside, let them be, do your thing, work, get other people in the space. Everybody will be okay. There's a popular saying now, everybody go do all right, right? It's about making a decision. I will not let my emotions block my elevation. right? Mental training, physical training. These are things you need to do. You need to deal with the mental and you'll get the physical done, right? So now guess what? These are discussions that I want you to have for teams or for your group of people, for your workshops and all that. If you're a coach, you need to use this. When was the last time I got defensive about feedbacks? You need to answer the question, right? When was the last time I got defensive about feedback? If you know you're always defensive about feedback, madam, oga, sir, ma, you are not coachable. I'm telling you. Which of the 13 ways do I struggle with the most? Out of the 13 ways that I listed, which of them do I struggle? Right? And how do I respond when someone I respect corrects me? It doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter the language. They speak good English. They don't speak good English. English is not most of our first language, by the way, right? See what I mean? What does feedback as information, not attack, mean to me? You have to internalize this thing. And lastly, who in my life is trying to coach me right now and I'm resisting? Who in my life? It could be your spouse, it could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your sibling, it could be your coach, it could be your mentor, it could be your trainer. Who in your life is trying to coach you that you're not, allowing in, right? So all of this that I've said is not to, do anything other than to throw in the light to you that guess what? Everyone wants result. Result cancels insult. But not everyone wants the reality that comes with growth, right? Have you ever tried to help someone who says in their mind that I want to win, right? I said it before, I'm reiterating it, right? If you've ever felt frustrated trying to coach someone, right, who says they want success, but fight every form of accountability to you as a coach or trainer or leader, just remember you are not their savior. Benny, you're not their savior. You're not their servant leader that, that they trample upon. You are their servant leader that is supposed to lead them right to the right place, but don't allow yourself to be a trampled upon servant leader, right? Most of us that will say, oh, I'm a scrum coach, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a servant leader. Servant leader, they are servanting your head, they are matching and trampling your head, they are doing their matching band on your head. Hey, that'll be small something. Stay obedient to assignment. You want to plant, you want to water, you want to speak truth into love, into the heart. Speak the truth and do it in love. Speak the truth and approach it in love. Speak truth into loving relationship, into loving coaching session, into loving, let your training, your coaching be filled with love, but don't carry the weight of their refusal. If somebody is saying no to you and you're trying to come in, they're saying no. Hey, Romans 12:2, remember, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? That's where the real game is. If this helped you, please like, comment, and share this with some leader out there, some trainer, some coach, someone in the position of helping other people. If you're a leader, you want to learn really fast from this tip, you want to follow me, right? And get the first seat when I come on and I speak. I try as much as possible to be on here every day, if not every day, every other day, right? We're on live on Clubhouse, we're on live on YouTube and on Facebook. Sometimes we go live on Instagram daily, it could be evening or twice. Guess what? You want to keep doing this. Subscribe so that you can get this information. You want to keep building, you want to keep coaching, you want to keep growing. Do this and you will see a good outcome. right? So subscribe for more tools on mindset from me, leadership and purpose-driven business. If you know you have a skill to coach, but you don't know how to start, you want to click the link in my bio, join my 5-day challenge, right? I always put up challenges every time. It's a coaching session. Don't worry, you don't need to be in insurance space. You could be in any field. You want to learn how to, harness your cooking, your skill, your singing, whatever it is. I have coaches that can help you, but guess what? Get in the space and let's help you. Remember, the mind is a battlefield, like I said earlier, but you were born to fight, right? So you determine your fight, choose it rightly. Not every fight is what's your fist, right? Some of them you just need to walk away, right? So let me say a little prayer of encouragement for you. Lord, say it with me right now. Lord, help me to be more teachable, break the pride that keeps me stuck. Give me a heart that welcomes wisdom and the strength to grow from correction, right? That's why I draw the curtain today. I remain your host, your trainer, your mentor, your leader, right? My name is Helene Orejobi. You're watching on YouTube on Generational Wealth Builder. We're talking about an holistic approach for you to get to your next level, right? Remain blessed, and I'll see you at the top.